Welcome guys to the Meet Damien live stream. I am Damien, and today we have the price of Bitcoin. Looks like Bitcoin doesn't like the fact that we have the PPI report showing that there's still inflation out there. So we had a little bit of drop this morning. We saw Bitcoin drop down around 9 a.m. to about $86,067. 86,155, somewhere in that area. I actually bought some spot Bitcoin at those prices at 86,100. So I'm still a believer that we're getting a relief rally here out of Bitcoin, and I believe we could still buy the dips and then sell the rips hopefully as we go to higher prices. You know, with that Bitcoin, you know, purchase, I might ride that thing all the way up to 103K, 102K. If I go into the daily time frame here, you'll see areas that I'm looking for here on Bitcoin. If I pull up the VRVP indicator, Hopefully it'll show you some high volume nodes. There are some high volume nodes above us at 103, 104K. You know, so me buying at 86K, going to 104K, you know, that's about a 20% move up in price, which, you know, I feel comfortable with Bitcoin being at 86K, buying it at that area. And, you know, I got my stop loss. My stop loss is at 80K, so I could lose possibly 10%. Risk reward ratio is about 2.59. Okay. I would love to take Bitcoin up to higher prices than that, beyond the 104K area. If we get back up to that 200-day moving average at 110K, then we're looking at a reward of about 25-26%, and we're still risking about like 7 or 8% on a Bitcoin here. Okay, so the risk reward ratio becomes of 3.43. I think that's a good risk reward ratio for Bitcoin. If you're interested in getting into a long on Bitcoin, I just realized I left one of my instruments here that I use to look at the chat. I guess I have to go back and forth. If you guys give me a second here, I just gotta put you on a quick pause, quick break here. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Literally, I'll put that on the screen here. Be right back. Okay. Alright, now I should be able to check up on the chat here. Let's get back to the show. Alright. Hopefully you guys are still able to hear me. I just want to do a quick volume check. Let me know if you guys can actually hear me or not. Alright. I'll be doing some requests today. I know yesterday's live stream I was entering trades. I actually am in a Bitcoin long that I just got in before I started the stream. I think we could see Bitcoin get up to like 88K here. And I'll show you here on the 1 hour time frame what I'm looking at, why I think Bitcoin can get up to 88K. Alright, so looking here on the 1 hour time frame on the price of Bitcoin. Let me get rid of the VRVP indicator real quick here. I am targeting this 200 moving average one more time, just like I did yesterday. You know, that 200 moving average was at like almost 89K, and that's exactly where the price of Bitcoin came up to. Yesterday was around 89K, maybe like 89,200, but still around that area. It hit that red line. I think if we're gonna get a bounce back here on Bitcoin, we could come up to that red line again on the 1 hour time frame. That's the 200 moving average. We could see Bitcoin come up to like 88,280 later on today, and that's my take profit on this long that I entered. I entered it on MEXC exchange. And the other thing, you know, that leads me to believe that Bitcoin could go to higher prices is we are still making higher lows here on the 1 hour time frame. So that's good to see. We got some support off the 50 moving average here at 86K, that green line right there. Okay. And if I pull up the oscillators, we do have on the MACD, we do have selling pressure is dying down. If this continues going forward for like the next couple hours while I'm going live with you guys here, we might actually see some green candles showing up here where we get a MACD flip and we get what we had, you know, yesterday afternoon, right? And even like yesterday morning when we saw a green candle showing up on the MACD. When that green candle showed up on the MACD, we saw the price go up to that 200 moving average. So I think, you know, the same thing could happen all over again today. Yeah, we got the bad news today about the PPI report, and that sent prices down, but we still made a higher low compared to what we did on Monday, okay? And then that one was a higher low compared to what we did all throughout the weekend, and especially on Friday when we saw Bitcoin at 80K, okay? So we're still making positive price appreciation to the upside, just making higher lows and higher highs for Bitcoin here, okay? I think we can still be, you know, short-term bullish on Bitcoin as long as we're making higher lows and higher highs, right? This is the beginning of an uptrend. This is the beginning of healing out there for a lot of cryptocurrency investors out there. And then, you know, how far could it possibly go in the short to medium term? You know, we are still looking at like around here, this area, like 92, 93K as an area that we would like to try to get back above. And then of course, you know, over here at like 95, 96K was an area that was acting as, you know, some support before we lost it about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Okay. So I think those are the levels to look for to the upside. If you're short-term trading Bitcoin, you know, you could get Bitcoin at 87K right now and try to take it up to like 91, 92K, okay? Or maybe even 95 or 96K as we try to climb and do a little bit of recovery here on Bitcoin. Well, let me see what you guys are saying here in the chat. I'm open to do requests here, and then we'll check in on my trades every now and then to see how those trades are doing. I'm not going crazy trading today, because I knew we were going to get a lot of volatility from the PPI report and market-driven news. But it looks like Lorraine wants to take a look at Dogecoin. We could do that. And Lorraine is saying something about the music. I have the music up during the beginning of the live stream, but I turn it down when I'm doing the analysis here. But if you need me to turn it down some more, let me know, Lorraine. I can try to do that for you. Okay, it's okay now. All right, that's good. Yeah, I just, you know, just starting off the live stream, I like to jam out to some music. You know, get the blood flow pumping. You know, and then we turn the music down when we get into the analysis here. All right, so let's take a look at Dogecoin. I remember Lorraine was saying that you were in a Dogecoin short, and I'm going to try to figure out why you thought that was a good idea. If you could tell me like what was your entry and what day you got into for that short on Dogecoin, because we'll look to see, we'll try to analyze if a Dogecoin short was a good move or not. Let me go into the daily time frame, and then we'll go into like the 1 hour time frame after that. Okay, so we're looking at the price of Dogecoin right now. Currently trading at 15 cents. And Dogecoin, you know, one of the best times to short Dogecoin was when we actually came and back tested this 200-day moving average here on October 27th, and then we got rejected. That would have been a good time to short Dogecoin at like 20 cents. And then you would have taken it down, because, you know, losing the 200-day moving average, that's not good. And then also losing and back testing the 21 EMA and getting rejected off the 21 EMA, this white line, is also not good either. So if you're inclined to short Dogecoin again, if you think you can enter another short in Dogecoin, I would wait until Dogecoin gets to at least to this white line again, this 21 EMA. If you're inclined to believe that Dogecoin is going to go to lower prices, first you want to short at a higher price, and that higher price right now would be about 16 cents is where that 21 EMA is hanging out at. Obviously it'd be better to short it at 20 cents, but you know, we have to climb back up there to get to you know, those prices again. All right, just looking at the daily time frame, you know, we've already gotten beaten down on Dogecoin. I wouldn't really be looking for shorts right now. I would be looking for longs. Okay. And right now the long, if you're day trading it, you're just targeting 16 cents at this point, because, you know, if we get up to that white line, if this white line is going to act as resistance, it should push us back down once we get back up to that white line, just using these moving averages as pivot points. Okay, now if we get up to you know, that white line and we go higher on Dogecoin, right, then yeah, Dogecoin could probably try to march its way back up to 20 cents, up to that 200-day moving average, but it has to first, you know, show that it's gonna get past the last lower high here, which was at Monday, November 10th here at 18.5 cents. So you could get into a long on Dogecoin right now at 15 cents, maybe take partial profit at 16 cents, and then take the full profits over at 18.5 cents, or, you know, in between 18.5, because that's where the previous lower high was on Dogecoin. Now let's get into the 1 hour time frame to see what Dogecoin looks like. because this is where you would probably start off if you're day trading Dogecoin. Dogecoin kind of looks similar to Bitcoin, making higher lows and trying to make higher highs here as we get above the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. That's good to see. Okay. Dogecoin, right, did bottom out on Friday, last Friday, around my birthday. It was like a birthday gift. Here's some cheaper Dogecoin, Damien, if you want some Dogecoin. This is a happy birthday, Damien, because we celebrated my birthday last Friday, November 21st. So yeah, looks like cryptocurrencies went on sale for my birthday, and then this weekend, that's when the discounts started. That's when the discounts started evaporating away. But now, you know, on the 1 hour time frame, this is actually positive price action. We are making higher lows here and trying to make higher highs here, and also trying to get above the 200 moving average. You know, looks like kind of missed the move here this morning, where we saw Dogecoin get as low as 14.5 cents after Bitcoin dropped to like 86K. Okay, but you can see it bounced off of this 100 moving average, which was an area for some traders to be targeting. It's what I would have been targeting. I like using the moving average strategy here. You know, the moving average strategy is I used, you know, the 200 days, the red line, the 100 days, the blue line, the 50 moving average is the green line. I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I say day because I'm just so used to saying, you know, 200 day, 100 day, 50 day moving average. But you know, when we're in the 1 hour time frame, it's just the 200 moving average, the 100, and the 50 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, and then the white line is the 21 EMA. I have a tutorial video as to like how I set up the moving averages. You guys can check that out on YouTube, and TikTok should be pinned to the top of the channel here on TikTok. If I go here real quick on TikTok, you guys can see me here. I believe this video right here, if I didn't talk about the moving averages, then I probably need to do a moving average strategy video. But you should see, you know, this is a good place to start for the beginner traders out there with this first video here on the top of my my TikTok. And then of course, you know, I got the other tutorial videos on the VRVP indicator and the Fibonacci indicator. Those are all good tutorial learning videos for you guys out there. All right, but anyways, getting back to the charts here on Dogecoin. I will look for these moving averages as support in this case as we try to climb up. All right, you know, earlier this weekend, these moving averages were going to act as resistance, and you can see, like, you know, when we hit that green line, the 50 moving average, we kind of traded sideways before we were able to use it as support to try and climb up to higher prices here. And you know, you can see, like, right here on you know, on Monday, that blue line was trying to act as resistance, like it did here on Sunday as well. Okay, but once we got past that 100 moving average, we bursted right through that. And then we kind of flagged and consolidated. And when we flagged and consolidated, we were trying to stay above the 200 moving average. Looks like we lost it here on Tuesday morning, right? Which is what, today? We lost the 200 moving average, came down, but then we got support off the 100 moving average. So these moving averages, they're really kind of good to use as a day trader, in my opinion here. Okay, especially on the 1 hour time frame, because these could be like where price ends up reversing, or you can use it as a target. You can just literally buy here at the blue line and sell at the red line, capture this, you know, this upside on that trade. And then if it goes a little bit further, whatever, okay, and there's no need to cry over missed gains. If you bought low and you sold high and you made profit, you should be happy with the profit that you made, and then maybe try to see if you're able to do it again. But now we're getting above the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame on Dogecoin. You know, where could it go next? All right, well, if you're short-term day trading it, maybe, and you're in a long, you're trying to target the highs from yesterday, where we saw like 15, you know, 0.153 pennies here on Dogecoin. All right, but then, you know, you have to zoom out a little bit. You might be targeting the previous highs if you're in a swing trade. Be targeting like here at like 16 cents, and so but basically about 16 cents is going to be the next target for Dogecoin if you're still in a long and trying to swing trade Dogecoin here. But if I get back into the daily time frame, if you are like swing trading it and you're not like a day trade, or maybe you're doing a leveraged short-term swing trade, you're just looking for the previous high here at 18.5 cents as your next target for your take profit on your long. So yeah, I would be looking for longs here on Dogecoin rather than shorts. The time to short was, obviously last month and, right before October 10th. Okay. But even then, like around here, like around October 27th was like a last good time to short when we lost that 200 moving average on the daily time frame. All right. Appreciate you, Parent, for following me here on TikTok. And thank you, Lorraine, for hitting that like button. We've already hit 3,000 likes here on TikTok. Appreciate that. Lorraine's asking me what numbers are the blue and red lines. So yeah, I think I just described that to you. These are my moving averages I use. The 200 moving average is the red line. The 100 moving average is the blue line. And the 50 moving average is the green line. And it's just taking the average of all the prices in the last 50 days for the green line, and the last 100 days for the blue line, and the last 200 days, the last 200 candles on the red line here. And then the white one is a 21 exponential moving average that usually follows the price very closely. All right. And we can, the more you come onto these live streams, you'll understand how I use these moving averages when I'm trading them. But as far as like setting them up, I go over here to the settings. I do the 5 moving average indicator here. And these are the inputs that I use. The white line is my moving average 1. I don't really use the second moving average. I do use the 3rd, 4th, and 5th moving average. And the inputs is I do the 21, the 100, the 50, and the 200. Okay. And that's how I set things up here and get my moving averages. And for the indicator, I probably should show this first, but I just do the moving average strategy here. I think it's like if you type in 5 MA, 5 moving average. Hey, I don't have it saved in my favorites. That's interesting. Let me see. Do I have it saved? Do I got that exponential? No, I don't. Oh man, if I lose that indicator, I'll be shit SOL. But I actually don't lose that moving that indicator because I have it saved in my templates here. So if I ever need to change things around, I still have that 5 MA. No matter what I do with the templates here, I got the templates that I saved here, where I always got that 5 moving average indicator set up on here under the indicator templates. And for now, I like doing the full picture here. I got the RSI, the market cipher B indicator, and the MACD, just kind of like hiding on us right now. So those are my oscillators that I have, and then of course I got the moving average, the 4 moving averages I use. Okay, and then I got the VRVP indicator to help me find out where there might be special price levels that are not so obvious on the chart. Okay, where people were buying and selling at specific prices. That's another good indicator that I like to use here. All right, guys, are quiet here on YouTube. We got like 5 people here on YouTube, but no one's talking. Okay. If you guys have requests, let me know what kind of requests you have. I want to talk about Zcash because I saw Zcash was at an interesting area. I actually bought some spot Zcash earlier today as well when Bitcoin dropped down to 86K. And Lorraine, for my Bitcoin. All right, so I bought spot Bitcoin and I'm targeting like 100K. Like 104K or even like 110K for the spot Bitcoin that I bought. But for my leverage long that I got in on Bitcoin, I'm looking for like 88K, 88,200 on Bitcoin. So yeah, and we were looking at Bitcoin earlier. We are getting some bids here. After we bounced off the 50 moving average on Bitcoin's 1 hour time frame, I'm just targeting that 200 moving average to the upside at 88,200 on my Bitcoin leverage long. Okay, but on my Bitcoin spot long that I bought at 86K earlier this morning, I'm targeting 100 410K, somewhere up there for you know, my spot trade on Bitcoin. So I'm doing exactly what you're doing, Hulk Smash. I'm dollar cost averaging in the Bitcoin, just trying to buy the lows, the higher lows as I see them on the charts here. I actually bought Bitcoin at 86K yesterday as well, before we shot up. So I'm just looking for these higher lows. When I see you know, Bitcoin sell off, I try to buy some Bitcoin, and then of course we go up again, and then when we sell off again, I buy some more on the higher lows. And my stop loss is at 80K on the spot, you know, the spot buys. All right, if we lose 80K again, all right, then this is unfortunate. All right, if we do go down to 80K or lower, because this looks like the beginning of a relief rally or recovery, where we would like to see Bitcoin get up to like 92, 93K. But yeah, let's see. I did buy some spot Zcash because you know, Zcash looks like it's in an interesting area itself as well, after having a little bit of a sell-off, right? And I remember Lorraine saying, "Oh, Zcash does the opposite of Bitcoin. When Bitcoin goes up, Zcash goes down. When Bitcoin goes down, Zcash goes up." But Bitcoin has been going down this past weekend. We saw Bitcoin at the lowest price on Friday, and Zcash got dragged down with it. You know, Zcash is not totally immune. Zcash kind of follows the price of Bitcoin every now and then. It's not totally uncorrelated. All right. However, let's see. Let's on the 4-hour time frame. I'm on the 4-hour time frame for Zcash, and we see Zcash at $500 right now, down 3.58% for today. And I'm on the 4-hour chart because I see here on the 4-hour chart. I'll just hide this for now. I can always get it later, but on the 4-hour chart, we are kind of coming up on support on the 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame for Zcash. So you would think that, you know, if this is going to get respected and act as support, then this is probably the lowest price you can get Zcash right now. And let me just turn on that Fibonacci real quick. But if this is the lowest price you can get Zcash right now, how high could Zcash possibly go? Well, we could possibly come up to the 786 retracement at $602, and that's like kind of like where that 50 moving average is sitting at on the 4-hour time frame. But I would like to be targeting $700. I don't know, it seems like a good number to me, where you got some previous highs here at like $700. And if you buy Zcash right now, like this is like the interesting trade that I got for you today. If you buy Zcash right now, okay, let me just hide this Fibonacci. I don't know why I had it on, but you know, if you buy Zcash right now, right, you put your stop loss below the lows from Friday, where we saw Zcash at like 470, or even like the lows from yeah, just the lows from Friday here, okay, at 470. So you put your stop loss at 470. Let's put that in there, 470, and you're buying Zcash right now at like what, $500, and you're targeting $700. You have a risk reward ratio of 6.43. Now I actually was able to get Zcash a little bit cheaper than that this morning, where I actually bought Zcash at 497. Okay, so it's like somewhere, I'm trying to get this to 497 or somewhere around there. But I saw the risk reward ratio was like somewhere near like 10 at the time. Right here it says risk reward ratio 7.86. That's a pretty good risk reward ratio for a spot trade, right? Where you're only risking about 5% on your stop loss to try and get 41% on the target to the upside here. And I'm just targeting the previous high back here on what, November 20th, what, last week? Okay. So if we can do that in 1 week, could we do this in another week where we just come right back up to $700? You'd be making about 40% gain on your Zcash right there, and you're only risking 5%. I think that's a worthwhile trade to take, especially if this could happen in 1 week. I don't know where else you can get that. You can't get that in stock market world unless, you know, you got some insider trader information, or you're buying like a company right before it reports good earnings, Zcash could do that for you, where you get a 40% move and you're only risking 5% here. So that's my trade, my swing trade long for you guys that are interested in trading Zcash here. I think that's a worthwhile trade to take here. Let's see what the oscillators are looking. You know, see if I can fall in love with Zcash some more here. On the MACD, obviously we saw, you know, selling pressure come in, but we're starting to get a pink candle here on the 4-hour time frame, saying that the selling pressure is kind of dying off now on Zcash. Okay, and if this pink keeps, you know, coming into play here, eventually you'll get a MACD flip and you'll see some green show up, like we saw earlier this weekend, where you know, you might see Zcash go up higher in price. Okay. And if I just take this to where the chart's at, you know, you saw that green show up, and the price did go up a little bit higher. You know, where we saw Zcash at like 610 bucks on Sunday. Okay, so I think this could be just another higher low being formed right here before Zcash launches back up to like 600, maybe even $700. I'm gonna try to see if I can get Zcash to go to $700. But if this selling pressure keeps dying down on the 4-hour time frame, like if we can spot that on the 1-hour time frame, like Zcash might actually be an interesting day trade right now, to be honest with you. If you want to do a leverage long right now, you can put your stop loss right below 6 a.m. Eastern time this morning, right below 482. And I would be targeting the 200 moving average to the upside at 593. Let's just do a quick analysis on that. If we were to long right now, Zcash, take it up to that 200 moving average. That's an 18% gain from where we are right now. Put the stop loss right below the lows from today. You're only risking about 3.8%, but you know, we're gonna probably do a leverage long here. That's a risk reward ratio of 4.8. You put a 10x leverage long on that, and your reward goes from 18% to like 180%. So you're gonna double your money, maybe even almost triple your money. And then, you know, for the risk, your risk is 3.8%, but with a 10x long, that becomes 38%. So you'll lose 38% of whatever margin that you had that you put in the trade. I'm actually gonna try to enter this trade right now, guys. I think I like this for a long. So let me show you guys here on MEXC. I'm gonna enter into a Zcash long. Currently, right now, I'm in the Bitcoin long, and I'm up 20 bucks on that trade, up 16%. Just using $128 of margin here. I'm gonna try to do the same thing. I'm gonna put $100 of margin into Zcash. So let's see if I can find that here. Zcash, and one of the best things about MEXC exchange that I use, there's no fees for trading Zcash. They want you to trade Zcash. They want the volume on their exchange. So let me get into the 15-minute time frame here. So we're gonna game plan this out, this long here on Zcash. If I put the stop loss at like 481, like that was the lowest point here. 42 was the low for today on MEXC exchange for Zcash. And I'm just targeting the moving averages above me. I'm going to try to target the 1 hour 200 moving average at 593. I could probably make it just 590. So let's see what that does for me here. First, before I do want to go in the 5-minute time frame just to make sure I'm getting in on a red candle. It looks like we are getting a red candle, so I see all systems go for a trade here. Let's try to game plan this out. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do a market order because we want to get in now. Let's see, how much margin is that? $109 a margin. That's fine. And then I want the take profit stop loss. We said what, 590 was take profit? What the hell? Oh my god. I might have to change the leverage here. It says I'll make $800 on this trade. Might have a little bit too much leverage there. And then 481 was going to be the stop loss. Yeah, I got to change the leverage because I don't like losing more than $20 on any trade here. So I got to change the leverage here. What I got? 40x leverage is a little bit too much. I think we said we were good with 10x leverage. because that would give us like 180% gain. So with that, you know, long, you can see it right here. Long, I'll make 200 bucks on the trade, and then the stop loss, I'll lose $38. I still don't like that, so I might even change the leverage down to 5x on this. Okay, so let's change that to 5x leverage. Okay, you see that? And now my stop, I'll lose $19. I'm okay with losing $19 if I'm wrong. Don't want to lose too much money being wrong. And then my long will get me 100 bucks if we can actually get up to 590 here. I like it. I like it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to open up that long. I feel comfortable pulling the trigger on this one. Looks like I'll be getting in at 498. And let's do it. Boom. I'm in a Zcash long. I bought at $498.74. This is where my stop loss is at. Hanging out comfortably below the lows for today. You know, if we go lower than $481, I get stopped out. That probably means there's something wrong with Zcash, and I don't want to stick around to find out why that's the case. However, if I'm right, okay, we're looking for, you know, $590 to the upside. And, you know, just a quick review of the trade. I am targeting that 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame, okay, as my ultimate take profit. But, you know, as this trade starts, if it starts playing out in my favor and I actually see, you know, higher prices on Zcash, I might take some partial profit here at the 50 and the 100 moving average on the 1 hour time frame, where, you know, that looks like about around like 543, 544. I could take a little bit of profit, right? Maybe like 50% of the trade off the table, pay myself, and then I can move my stop loss to break even. So, you know, I get paid. And then if this thing does come down and stop me out, well, at least I got paid because I took a little bit of profit at that 100 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Okay, so even if even if the trade does this and then comes back down, I made some money and I won't lose money. Okay, however, if we come up, come down, make a higher low, and then go up to higher prices, well, I still have a little bit of Zcash to play around with. And hopefully I can see this thing play out where we actually hit that take profit at 590, and I'll make more profit. And that's the way I like to trade here. I like taking partial profits somewhere in between, moving the stop loss to break even, and then hopefully hitting that full take profit target later on in the future. I see Lauren A is in the chat. Good to see you, Lauren A. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for making it to the live stream. Don't forget to hit the like button. All right, so that's Zcash. I just entered a Zcash trade. I feel comfortable getting into it. Let's see how things are. I'm down a little bit here. Maybe I could have got a better price for Zcash, but whatever. All right. Let's get back into the chat here, see what you guys are saying for requests. Cookies in the chat. He wants to look at near protocol. Let me go ahead and write that down. And we'll take a look at some other requests as well. We got near as a request. And then looks like we have a request for Ethereum, ETH. And Hulk Smash, you have any requests yourself? Let me know if there's any coin you want me to take a look at. Lorraine's funny. Oh, okay, and Lorraine actually did want to look at Zcash. Okay, so we just did that right now. I am interested in getting the Zcash. As you can see, I bought some Zcash as a leverage trade and for a long, and I've also bought some Zcash earlier, trying to spot trade it as well. All right. So I guess we'll take a look at Near Protocol, and then we'll take a look at Ethereum as the next couple of requests to take a look at. All right, let's see, Near Protocol. Excuse me, guys. All right. Near protocol. Let's see on the daily time frame here. Near protocol, what are you doing? You've obviously had some better days here back in May of 2024 and December 2024 when you saw like $8 on near protocol. This thing was almost down like 90% from its highs from like last year. Yikes. Okay. And right now you're kind of treading water here, trying to stay above water and not drown. You're near the lows for the year. Let's see, lowest price for near protocol. One of them was like back here on June 22nd where we saw $1.79. And then another here at like $1.71 on November 4th. So don't go lower than $1.71 here on near protocol. Because it could be game over for near protocol. I mean, it looks like it's been game over for the past year for near protocol. But near does get some upside swings every now and then. Where, you know, it gets above the moving averages here. Only for a few days here. And then it drops down. So I actually drew a Fibonacci on this to just analyze it. We came up to like $3.19. Looks like we came up to like $3.19 on November 8th here. And that's why I drew this Fibonacci from like $1.72 to $3.19. And wow, I mean, near protocol just can't get any support off the moving averages here. You know, that's what these cryptocurrencies can do. They can go down just as fast as they went up. I hope you guys are starting to understand that, because these cryptocurrencies, they don't really generate revenue like a dividend paying stock or a stock that actually earns money and profits. Because if this was a stock that was actually making money, you would think like it would get support off the 200 moving average, unless it was like, you know, losing a lot of money and about to go bankrupt. That's the only time you would see a company in the stock market go below its 200-day moving average. But this thing goes above its 200-day moving average just to go below it like the next week or two. So I mean, very garbage price action. But there's still, I mean, there's volatility. You can still trade it if you want to, but I would not be falling in love with near protocol here. I would not be trying to wife up near protocol right now. You just gotta date the trade, okay? But you could now, you know, because near protocol is, you know, down and out on its luck, it might be a good time to try to pick it up for a nice leverage long here. And you could be targeting that, you know, 200-day moving average to the upside at $2.53 is where that 200 moving average is sitting at. Or you could be targeting to the upside this 21 EMA at $2.31, this white line right here. And let's game plan that one out, right? I'd be looking for a long, not a short, okay? So we're gonna look for, you know, a long here. If we were gonna take this to that 200-day moving average, that's about a 32% gain on near protocol. Then you put your stop loss below the lows for the week here at like $1.79. And your risk reward ratio is about 5.5. That's a good trade to take. And your stop loss is about 5.9% from where we are right now. So you're not really risking too much. Even if you spot trade this, you're risking only 5.9% to try and get that 32%, that green number right there. So I think it's a worthwhile trade, worthwhile long. You can spot trade it or you can leverage trade it. And if you're gonna leverage trade it, maybe you do like, maybe 10x leverage on this one. You'll lose 59% on your stop loss, but you'll make 320% with a 10x long. But you don't even have to do a 10x long. You do a 5x leverage long, and then you only lose about maybe 25, 26% on the stop loss, and you'll get like 160% gain if we could just get back up to that 200-day moving average. Now, are we likely to get up to the 200-day moving average? I'm not sure. We might not actually make it that high. I would probably plan on, you know, maybe I would target, you know, as a take profit target too. I would target like 253, right? $2.53 here for that 200-day moving average. But I would actually try to most likely see if I could take some profit here at that white line, this 21 EMA on the daily time frame. That's still about a 21% gain. You know, slap on 5x leverage, and that's about 100% gain. And yeah, I would take a little bit of profit at that 21 EMA if we get back up to it, because 21 EMA could reject us again. All right, it has rejected us here on November 19th and November 20th. So, you know, don't be surprised if it actually, you know, takes you down, right? It could push you down. It could be a bully and push you right back down to lower prices. So I would try to take profit at that 21 EMA as the first take profit, and then the second take profit I would be targeting the 200-day moving average at 253. Put that as my second take profit. Crazy Never Lazy has followed me here on TikTok. Thank you for doing that. And then Ro Marie has followed me on TikTok as well. Thank you for doing that as well. Hopefully I can get some more subscribers on YouTube, but looks like TikTok is keeping me busy with more followers here. Thank you. All right, let's take a look at Ethereum next. I don't think you were looking for a short on Near Protocol, right? Because like we're already near the lows for the year. But yeah, I'd be looking for a long for this bad boy here. Just trying to get a relief rally, a relief bounce to higher prices, and I'd be targeting, like I said, you know, 231 and 250 to the upside on Near Protocol. Let's look at Ethereum now. See how Ethereum is doing. Currently, Ethereum is trading at $2,936, down 0.5% today. Oh, I gotta get rid of some previous analysis here, some previous Fibonacci's. Okay, clean the chart up a little bit. Let me get rid of that too. All right. So Ethereum bottomed out on Friday, just like all the other cryptocurrencies. When Bitcoin took a nosedive to 80K, Ethereum went down to 2620, and now it's getting a slight recovery. Let's see how high we are from that low. I think we're about like 10% above the lows from Friday. Yeah, about 11% here on Ethereum. So similar to Bitcoin, Ethereum is also it's also up like 10 or 11% here. If you're game planning along on Ethereum, right? I'm targeting that 21 EMA one more time here at 3,160. Okay, 3,160, and then maybe try to take more profit at that 200 moving average sitting at 3,511. All right, which is similar to, like, you know, these moving averages are very confluent with the Fibonacci that I drew here at like $3,200 for a target here to the upside, and then 35.34, that 0.5 retracement is sitting right next to that 200-day moving average. Okay, so whether you're a moving average trader or a Fibonacci trader, or maybe you're both like me, using both indicators, you have your targets to the upside already. So let's try to plan that out for a long here, right? If you were to long Ethereum and put your stop loss below the lows for today, and you're just targeting that that white line there, that's only about 7% gain, but you're only risking 2.5%. The risk reward ratio is still 3, almost 3, 2.91. But if you're in it for a little bit longer than that, you could try to push to see if Ethereum can get back up to that 200-day moving average at 35.11, and you got a reward of about 19%, and you're still only risking about 2.6% if you're putting a stop loss at the lows for the day. Maybe if you're in it for a spot trade, I'd probably put the stop loss a little bit lower, maybe below the lows from Saturday. So now you're risking about 7.9% to try and get 19%. The risk reward ratio is 2.4. Not the greatest, okay? But I think for a spot trade, because you just don't know, Ethereum could come back down to lower prices here. And if it does come down, it might come down to this 2787 level with that 0.236 retracements at. That'd be a better buy. You know, if you get Ethereum at $2,800 or $2,700, that'd be a better buy if you're able to do so. If you get a retracement down to lower prices here. And if you do get Ethereum at like $2,800, then you could probably put your stop loss right below the lows from Friday, where, you know, Ethereum got down to like 2620. Probably put your stop loss at like 2610 maybe. Okay, and a better buy would be somewhere like $2,800, and now we're looking at a better risk reward ratio. Okay, but we just don't know. Is Ethereum ever going to go back to $2,800 in the near term? I don't know. If Bitcoin goes to higher prices, then probably not. But yeah, this is what I'd be using, you know, trying to game plan things out here. If you're buying right now, I'd probably put the, you know, if you're spot trading it, put the stop loss right below the lows here on Saturday. Not the greatest risk reward ratio, okay, but if you never get stopped out, then, you know, you're all right. Okay, you are okay. Lorene's asking me, how's my trade doing? Are you asking me that because Bitcoin's going down and so is Zcash? I think you might know the answer already. Let's see, Zcash at 494. Ugh. So I got in at like what, 498. Let's see, Zcash is, I'm down a little bit on Zcash, about 4.4%, and my Bitcoin trade, I'm up a little bit, 7.6%. But yeah, I gotta let those things cook a little bit. Let's see, what is going on here with Bitcoin? Because we were climbing at the beginning of the stream. Well, let me get into the 5-minute time frame here. See what Bitcoin's doing here. Alright, we had a little bit of a sell-off. Looks like on the 5-minute time frame, we're coming down to the 200 moving average. Hopefully that acts as support. Hopefully we start getting some green candles here. So these moving averages, they work on like all the time frames. They're great to see, to get ideas like where support and resistance could be. And on the 5-minute time frame for Bitcoin, we are getting above the 200 moving average, and looks like we came and tested it as support. Hopefully we can climb back up and just make another higher low here on Bitcoin. See what the oscillators are doing. See if I gotta worry about anything on the oscillators here. Buying pressure was dying down, but that doesn't mean that buying pressure can't start increasing again, because look, we saw buying pressure dying down about 2 hours ago, and then it started increasing an hour later, and then yeah, buying pressure came back in again on the 5-minute time frame. So hopefully we get the same thing going into the rest of the afternoon here. I don't know if I really want to look at market cipher B on the 5-minute time frame, because you're just going to get, you know, buy dot, sell dot, buy dot, sell dot, buy dot, sell dot. But we actually did hit overbought territory, so that's something to take in consideration here. When you hit these red horizontal lines here, these are the overbought lines here, which is opposite of the oversold lines. And it's in red because it just gives you an idea, like, hey, you might want to sell it when you get to the overbought territory here. So we already got overbought, that's why we got that red sell dot there. But we could get a green buy dot here, which could send us, you know, back up to overbought conditions all over again. That's the 5-minute time frame. Let's see what things look like on the 15-minute time frame for Bitcoin. So once again, look at the MACD. We came and we had a lot of buying pressure over the last couple hours, but now we're starting to see the buying pressure kind of fade down a little bit, turning into light green. A little bit of a battle here where we got light green and then sometimes dark green. But as this thing starts, if it does start, the buying pressure start dying down, we can still go up to higher prices while buying pressure is dying down on the 15-minute time frame. So I still feel comfortable being in my long on Bitcoin. And I think that should also help the altcoins as well this afternoon if Bitcoin climbs up to higher prices. So I think things are looking fine on the 15-minute time frame here. But, you know, just got to be a little bit wary because, you know, if we start seeing buying pressure die down, then, you know, that we probably need to take profit. this afternoon, sooner rather than later, instead of waiting for like later on tonight. We might have to take profit this afternoon on the longs that we're in. And then here on the market cipher B indicator, market cipher B, we do have money flow is in the green right now on the 15-minute time frame. That's good to see. A lot better than seeing money flow in the red, right? And we are making higher lows here on the 15-minute time frame. Like here, we bottomed out earlier this morning. Got that green buy dot in the oversold territory. Whenever you see a green buy dot in oversold territory, usually a really good time to buy or go long on that asset. Okay. And of course, opposite of that would be when you see a red sell dot here on the overbought, territory. That's a good time to take profits on whatever long that you're in, possibly enter a short if you're inclined to do so. So I like using market cipher B, give me a good gauge as to like what we're doing here. But yeah, I did say higher lows because, you got the blue momentum wave here, right? Big momentum wave. Then you got a smaller momentum wave, and you're making a higher lows here because you got another green buy dot, and this is higher than the low here. So you are making higher lows here on the market cipher B indicator, which is good to see. Could mean that we could continue going to higher prices here on Bitcoin. That's why I'm still in that long on Bitcoin. Okay. And of course, as we go into higher prices, if we see that this momentum wave goes into the red overbought territory with the red horizontal lines here, and I see a red dot come up on the 15-minute time frame, it's a good time for me to take profit on my long. But yeah, we're finally getting a nice green candle here on the 15-minute time frame. Let's see what the 5-minute time frame looks like. Got a nice bullish engulfing green candle, getting rid of this red candle price action from the previous 5 minutes. And I'm expecting this thing to climb up as we're watching the charts here. I'm expecting another green candle, hopefully. Take us right back to where we were, 30 minutes ago. Hey Steve, how you doing? I see you in the chat here on YouTube. Savetson on TikTok is kind of like freaking out right now, saying we're gonna break below 89. Oh wait, no, you're not freaking. You're freaking out to the upside, saying that we're gonna break 89K to the upside. I'd like to see that. That'd be nice. Savetson says we're gonna wreck yesterday's shorts and liquidate them to 93 or even 98K. Yeah, that would be nice. I am long Bitcoin. The trend is, if I zoom out to the 1 hour time frame here, the trend is to the upside on Bitcoin right now. Okay, we are making higher lows, which is really good to see, and we're making higher highs. Now, if we have to get above, the previous highs here at like 90, 92, 93K to continue validating that we're still in an uptrend on Bitcoin. So that's why I've been dollar cost averaging in the Bitcoin. So far, I've been getting in at 86K on Bitcoin. I wish I did, but I did not buy Bitcoin at $80,000 or $81,000. That was right around my birthday. I was celebrating my birthday. I probably should have got on the phone and clicked buy, right? While I was celebrating my birthday dinner. Was when Bitcoin was freaking the hell out. Actually, that happened around like 7 a.m. I was probably sleeping around that time, 7 a.m. Eastern time. Yeah. But I was shorting Bitcoin on Thursday night, and I made a good amount of money shorting it when it dropped from like 90K or 88K all the way down to 80K. I had a short, and my take profit was at 82K, and Bitcoin went further down below that. But now it looks like we're erasing some of the fear out of the market as Bitcoin tries to go up to higher prices, higher lows, higher highs. We still have to try to get above this 200 moving average, which was acting as resistance. That's why, like yesterday, when I was long in Bitcoin, I was like, I'm going to take profit at 89K because that's where the 200 moving average is on the 1 hour time frame. I think today, we'll probably have maybe some resistance at that 200 moving average one more time, and that's going to be a little bit lower now because you see the 200 moving average has gone down to lower prices here. And I'm thinking like 88,200 is where I'm trying to get out of this long on Bitcoin. If I go back to my trade here on MEXC, I'm targeting 88,200 as my take profit on the long. Okay. And let's see, let me just calculate this. I probably could have bought more Bitcoin than I did. I just entered a really quick trade. I was figuring I could probably buy more Bitcoin at lower prices. But my take profit, I'll make $34 if Bitcoin goes up to 88,200. And my stop loss, I'm only going to lose 13 bucks, which is within the parameters that I look for. I don't want to lose more than $20 on a stop loss. But what I'll do now is let's see, what is the price of Bitcoin? 87,600. I could probably move the stop loss to like 87,200, so I don't lose too much on the stop here. Oh shit, I meant to put it over here. Ugh. Cancel, redo. 87,200. So I'll only lose $2 if I'm wrong now on Bitcoin. But nothing too crazy. You know, I could have probably put some more margin. I could have probably done more leverage, but I didn't. I feel comfortable with this kind of leverage at 25x leverage for Bitcoin. And I mean, I could always, let's go back into the 5-minute time frame. I could always buy more Bitcoin, right? Let me make sure I got Bitcoin up on the chart. Let's see. So this was my original buy right before I started the live stream. I got in at 87,200, $200 roughly. We did get support off the 200 moving average. I think I'm actually going to try to buy some more Bitcoin, believe it or not, guys, and just ride it up to like 88,200. There you go. Before this candle wick goes to higher, before we get a nice green candle here, I'll just open it up right now. Boom. Okay, 87,453. Ah, shoot! Look at that! Look at that! It just shot up like $200. It's like somebody else saw what I saw and they decided to push the price up. I was gonna try to buy the bottom of this red candle. Let's see. Oh, now we're getting a little bit of a drop. All right, maybe I'll try to get in now. All right, so I just doubled down. I just bought some more Bitcoin at 87,615. And let's go look at the stop loss again. Make sure things make sense here. So now I got like $265 in margin on the Bitcoin long. Yeah, we'll take a look at the stop loss. Stop loss, if we go back to 87,200, I'll only lose about $8 or $9. I'm okay with that. Oh wait, I gotta fix this. Oh, alright, no, never mind. Take that back. If we actually do go down to 87,200, I will lose $18, which is still acceptable to me. No more than $20 is. I don't like to lose more than $20 when I'm wrong on a trade. And if we do go up to 88,200, I'll make $57 on this long on Bitcoin. I'm okay with that. I like that for a trade. Right? I'll only lose 6% if I'm wrong. I'll make 21% if I'm right. I'm okay with that. Yeah, it's like a 3-to-1 ratio right there. Boom. I am in on that. And just so you guys can measure, so you know, with I gotta go back to here. What was my average entry again? My average entry is now at 87,440. So just measuring that out here on the chart. 87,444, and I got my stop loss at 87,450. 87,200, roughly around that area. And I'm targeting 88,200. See, the risk reward ratio is still 3.6 on this trade. Okay, that's a decent trade to get into, right? So this is what this is what it looks like here on my long on Bitcoin. My stop loss, I'm losing my stop loss. If it was not leveraged, it would be 0.25% on the stop loss. However, I'm using 25x leverage, so you got to multiply that number by 0.25. I can't really do math, but let me just try to do that real quick here. 0.25 with 25x leverage, I lose about 6%. We saw that already. We saw that with my, when I was on MEXC exchange. Okay. And my reward is only 0.9%, but really it's more than that because my reward is actually like 21% with 25x leverage. And the risk reward ratio is 3.6. That's a decent trade to be in. Still targeting that 200 moving average to the upside. We almost came up to that 200 moving average about an hour ago. 88,108. That's really close to hitting that 200 moving average. Steve Hickey wants me to take a look at virtuals. All right, we'll take a look at virtuals, and then let's see what you guys saying here on TikTok. No, Laureen, it does not look like it's starting to look bearish. I still think we're in the bull trend here, or uptrend here on crypto. We're just probably forming a higher low right now. All right, let's take a look at virtuals here. I think I got as like one of my cryptos on the watch list here. Yeah. We're now looking at virtuals, currently trading at 91, almost 92 cents, down 1.89% today. Let me get into the daily time frame. Do you want me to look at it as a day trader, or do you want me to look at it as like a, long-term spot trader? Because I'll start with the daily time frame just to get ideas like what this thing has done. Virtuals had a nice little up run here towards the end of October, topped out at $1.90. All right, Steve wants me to look at this as a day trader in the day trader format here. Okay, all right. But even so, we can still look at the bigger picture here. So we came down here on virtuals, making a higher low, hopefully, compared to the lows here back in October. So that would be nice to see if we're able to do that. For just a long-term, maybe if you're doing a swing trade leverage long, you could, buy here and target that 50-day moving average above you at $1.14. And the 21 EMA is also above you as well at $1.16. So there could be some room to run to the upside if we catch the bids here on virtuals. But let's go into day trader mode here and go from the daily time frame to the 1 hour time frame. Good place to start for the day traders out there. And you can see that here on virtuals, yeah, we bottom out here on Saturday. I think the lowest price I see is like 86.5 cents. So maybe you could put your stop loss at 86.5 if you're not doing too much leverage here. On the 1 hour time frame, you are getting kind of like cradled here with support on the 50 moving average, acting as support here, that green line at 90 cents. Okay. And you are getting some green candles here with some candle wicks saying that this is showing that there's some liquidity. There's some buyers that are demanding to buy virtuals whenever it goes below 90 cents. So 90 cents is holding pretty strong here, where you haven't really had a candle close on the 1 hour time frame below 90 cents. They just won't allow you to go lower than 90 cents here. So if you want a really tight stop loss, put your stop loss right below 90 cents. Okay, but I probably just to be comfortable here, put the stop loss below the lows here on this lowest candle wick low. We did get down to like 88.8889 pennies here. around 9 a.m. Eastern time. So if you really want your stop loss to be tight, maybe somewhere like at 0.88. Yeah. Why don't we just say 0.88? Yeah, just 88 cents. We'll just say 88 cents would be a good stop loss for a leverage long here. And I would be targeting that ultimate take profit, that 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. So let's game plan this one out, right? We're gonna do the long position here and see what we got here. So stop loss, we said what, 88 cents? Okay, around that area. And then the reward, our take profit is going to be 98.5 cents if we are able to do so. I don't like the risk reward ratio on this one. Risk reward ratio is only 1.88. If it's going to be a decent trade and worth risking your money, you want a 3 on your risk reward ratio here. So that stop loss might be a little bit too much. If we put the stop loss below, let's see, the candlewick lows, or even at the candlewick lows here earlier this morning, the risk reward ratio is a little bit better at 2.49. Still not a 3. We're looking for a 3 for it to be worthwhile to put our money at risk here. So I don't know. I mean, you're kind of missing out. Had you bought earlier, it's, you know, around here, this probably would have been a better risk reward ratio. But let's see, if we put the stop loss below these last 2 candlewick lows here, we got as low as like 89.5 cents. So now we got 89.5 cents as a stop loss. You're risking 2.3%. Okay, if you're not using leverage, your reward is still 7.4% to the upside, where you're targeting that 200 moving average on a 1 hour time frame. And this is a day trade, right? This is like if you want to get in now and hopefully, you know, hopefully this plays out before you go to bed tonight. Okay. Then, yeah, your risk reward ratio is 3.21. That's worthwhile taking, in my opinion. And if you're doing 10x leverage, you're only going to lose 23%. And with 10x leverage, you'll make 74% if you actually get up to that 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Maybe takes partial profit at that 100 moving average at 94.5, almost 95 cents here. Because you just don't know. It could come up here and then get rejected, right? You don't know if you're actually going to hit that 98 cent target. So you pay yourself, okay? And then if it does come down, you can buy back in again, make a higher low, and then take, you know, your full profit at that 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. And then of course, like as the trade starts playing out, you know, you take profit at that 100 moving average, and then you can move your stop loss to break even, so you're not going to lose any money. So you made a little bit of money, and then if you get stopped out, hey, that's fine. You made money and you didn't lose money. But, you know, if this thing hits that, you know, 100 moving average at 95 cents, doesn't stop you out, right? Makes a higher low. You're watching the chart as it makes that higher low. You buy back in again near the higher low that you're seeing on the chart. And then you can take that all the way up to that 200 moving average and make some more money on your winning trade here on virtuals. Oh, but Steve, you want me to know what I think about virtuals for a long-term trade? Let's get back into the daily time frame again. On the daily time frame, I would just be looking for virtuals to try to climb up to that 50 moving average at $1.14, where you could get some resistance. This is where some people were buying and selling virtuals here in early October. They might want to click the sell button just to break even on you, on themselves here. Okay, but you know, I can't get bullish again on virtuals until you get above the 200 moving average on the daily time frame at like $1.41. Then we can start talking about, you know, being bullish for the long term here on virtuals. Virtuals has been at higher prices earlier this year, but you know, it's been lower highs and of course lower lows on the way down here. So And I don't know if we're ever going to see virtuals at $5 again like we saw. Was it at $5? Yeah. On January 2nd, right after New Year's. I'm not sure if we're ever going to see that again. Okay. Right now, as a long-term spot bag day trader, I'm not a day trader, but long-term swing trader. You're just looking to see if virtuals can get back up to $1.90 like it did November 1st here. And I would consider taking profit because you don't know if that's going to be if you're able to get past that. Are you going to be able to get past that? There's going to be a lot of resistance because whoever bought at $1.90, they're down underwater right now. Right? How far down are they? You bought at $1.90 and we're like currently at 91 cents here. They're down about 50% on their investment. So if virtuals does come back up to $1.90, they'll be break even. They might not want to ever do that again. They might want to sell just to break even, and then maybe they wait for like virtuals to make another higher low before they get back in again. If they do want to get back in and get back in again on virtuals. But this doesn't seem like a bad area for a swing trader or a day trader. Lorraine, thank you for the likes. We got up to 10,000 likes here. Appreciate that. I appreciate you, Maureen. Thank you. And yeah, you have sent me some things here. Let's see what Maureen has sent me here. Shafi wants me to check out Pendle. Okay. You sent me the Go Popular the Go Popular sticker. Thank you, Lorraine. You sent me some roses. Thank you, Lorraine. Fishing Wifey is following me here on TikTok. Thank you for following me. Let's see. All right. So yeah, we gotta look at for Shafi. We gotta look at Pendle here. Are you still in the chat, Shafi? Put a 1 in the chat. Just let me know if you're still there. Because I feel like I might have missed your request, but I'm looking at it right now. I'm going to take a look at Pendle after this one. Alright, let's look at Pendle. There he is. He's still in the chat. Good to see you. Alright. Pendle. Currently trading at $2.47. We actually looked at this yesterday. And I think I gave a long and a short because I wasn't sure what you were looking for. I mean, you could short Pendle and still get a pretty good risk-reward ratio where you could take this thing down to $1.81. Right? This was the short, right? If you're going to short Pendle, let's see, at 247 is where you would get in right now. Stop loss. I mean, I think I had the stop loss. The stop loss is like above the wicks here on November 13th. So, you know, stop loss about like 9%. And your reward is a 25% if we get down to $1.81 here on Pendle. Risk reward ratio is 2.61. Maybe not the best. Maybe if Pendle does climb out to higher prices, you could enter at a higher price and your risk reward ratio becomes a little bit better. Alright, but that's an idea if you're trying to get into a short. Long in Pendle seems like a better idea though. But right now, if you were to get into Pendle, you would have to buy it at 248 right now. That would be your entry. And I put the stop loss below the lows on Friday at like 202. And I think we were just looking for, if you're not leverage trading, but you're just spot swing trading this, you're looking to see if Pendle's going to break above this 21 EMA where it's at, kind of like right now. If you break above the 21 EMA, then the moving averages above you, they shouldn't act as resistance until you get to like the the 50-day moving average at 398. So if you're targeting 398 right now, that's about a 60% move up in price from where you are right now. Your risk reward ratio is 3.2. It's a good risk reward ratio if you're able to get to see that, you know, play out all the way out to 398. And stop loss, you're risking 18% to try and get that 60%. That still comes out to 3-to-1 risk reward ratio. Not bad, not bad. Obviously, it would have been better if you bought previous couple of days. Would have better prices here, because then your stop loss would still be where it's at, but your entry would have been better, and you would have had like a 6 or 7 risk reward ratio here. But even now, you can still buy right now, and the risk reward ratio is still a worthwhile trade at, you know, 3.2 on the risk reward ratio. And you're trying to take profit at this area over here. Let's see, could you take profit anywhere else though? Let's start on the VRVP indicator. There is a high volume no above you at $3.10, and also like around 330. So if you want to take profit there, you could. Also, there's another kind of high volume node here at 357, and then of course 387. Those moving averages, right? They're kind of like in no man's land. There's really not that much volume here on the VRVP where these moving averages are at. So there's actually not that much resistance. So if once you get past 390, you can shoot right up to like 447 based on the VRVP indicator here. And then you got another high volume node here at 474. So if you haven't taken profit by then, you should definitely take profit at 474. Not financial advice, let me just put that out there. Don't sue me, bro. Right? But I would consider definitely selling something if I haven't sold anything. And this thing is at 470. And you got your high volume node here on the VRVP indicator. Of course, the highest volume node is this blue line. This is the point of control POC. I remember Jesse in the Discord was saying POC, and some people were like, what the hell is that? The POC is the point of control on the VRVP indicator. And it's just a line. It's where the highest volume node is based on whatever data range. Like, we're looking at data going all the way back to like August earlier this year. But the POC is sitting at 541. You should definitely consider taking profit and selling your pendle when it gets to that area. Okay, very strong resistance there because you're below that price. Had we been above, you know, if we were like $8 or $9, then this POC would act as support. But since you're below the POC, this POC is going to act as resistance, trying to get up to that level there at 546. So you should definitely strongly consider taking some profit at 546. Not going to tell you what to do with your money, but with my money, I'd be taking profits at 546, and you'd be basically doubling your money from where you are right now if we do get up to like $5 here on Pendle. Alrighty, so that's Pendle in a nutshell. Wouldn't really be looking for shorts here, unless you're day trading it. And if you are, you know, just know like this. Yeah, you could day trade it and sell here and take it down to $1.81 as your take profit. You're basically betting that you're going to get rejected off this 21 EMA, which has happened in the past. That 21 EMA has acted as resistance back here in November 11th, and resistance here on October 27th. So you wouldn't be wrong for trying to take a short if you're inclined to do so here. But you know, just keep the stop loss manageable, where you're not risking more than 1% of your account on a stop loss. Okay, so when I say don't risk more than 1% on your stop loss, if you had like $1,000 account, 1% of that would be $10, right? So don't lose more than $10 on your $1,000 trading account, right? Because you can do that 99 more times before you blow out your account. If you had like a $10,000 trading account, then 1% of that would be $100. So your stop loss you don't want to lose more than $100 on your trade, and you could do that 99 more times before you lose the 10 grand in your trading account. And what's the likelihood that you're gonna lose 99 times? You have to. I think even if you purposely try to lose 99 times in a row, you'll accidentally get a winning trade that hits your take profit. So that's what I mean by stop loss. 1% of your trading account is what your stop loss should be at. Maureen wants me to take a look at Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin running on us? Or is it dropping on us? Oh no, Bitcoin's dropping on us. Bitcoin, what are you doing? You're coming down to my average entry. You gonna try to stop me out, maybe? On my long? Ugh. What is this? What's going on here, Lorene? Is there any news-driven event? Or, I mean, we didn't really hit resistance, but we're losing the 200 moving average on the 5-minute time frame here. Oh, that's what happened. Lorene went long, and that's why the price of Bitcoin's dropping. Jesus, Lorene. Oh, boy. All right. Well, on my Bitcoin long, I only plan on losing 18 bucks. So let's see. Am I still in the trade, or did I get stopped out? I am still in the Bitcoin long here. Oh, that's right, because I think my stop loss is at like 87,200. Yeah. So this is what I mean, you know. I'm only on this particular exchange, on this account, I'm only trading with $1,000. So I like to keep the stop losses where I only lose about $20 or less. So right now, if I'm wrong and Bitcoin continues dropping, I'll lose $18 on this trade here on the Bitcoin long. Even though I was trying to see if I could get, you know, Bitcoin to sell some Bitcoin at 88,200, I would have made $57 in this trade had I been right. Up. Oh, and now we're going back up again. I'm up $6 now. What are you doing, Bitcoin? Okay, Bitcoin now getting some support off the 200 moving average on the 5-minute time frame. Yay! Stop loss is at like 87,200, which is kind of like where this 50 moving average is on the 5-minute time frame. Trying to give us a good scare. Had you showed up late to the trade, this could be a good time to try to long Bitcoin on the 5-minute time frame, and then put your stop loss right below that 50 moving average on the 5-minute time frame. Kind of like where I got it right now, 87,200. If you want to keep it really tight, maybe you could try to make it a little bit looser. 87,000 could be where your stop loss could be, because you would have to lose all this moving average support on the 5-minute time frame if it doesn't play out. Come on, Bitcoin is what Lorene is saying. Yeah, but we're just watching Bitcoin right now on the 5-minute time frame in a day trade. How's Zcash doing? Because I probably could have got in at a better price, but Zcash on the 5-minute time frame. We're now looking at Zcash again. I mean, this does look like, you know, Zcash made a double bottom here at 482. It came down to 484 earlier this afternoon. I think I got my stop loss at like 481. Could Zcash come right down to 480 one more time, make a triple bottom? I mean, you do have a higher low compared to what you did here earlier this morning. If Zcash came down to like 484 or 485, might be even a better sniping entry to get in at a really good price on Zcash for it to make a higher low like this. I'll try to game plan this out. If Zcash did come down to like 484 or 85, somewhere around there, makes a higher low, after already making a higher low and bottoming out earlier this morning. That could be a really good entry for a Zcash long, like 40, 40, 45. That's if we do drop down. There's no guarantee that we are going to drop down. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Okay. But yeah, Zcash, it's trying to use this 21 EMA on the 5-minute time frame as support. Sometimes it loses it, but it comes right back to it again. I want to see Zcash catch some bids and get above this green line, this 50 moving average on the 5-minute time frame, and then of course, you know, get above that blue and the red one. But we shall see. We shall see. Maybe if Bitcoin gets up to like 88 or $89,000, we might see Zcash get above these moving averages here. But on that Zcash long, what was I targeting? I think I was targeting the 1 hour time frame again. I am trying to see if I can push Zcash long up to 590 here. And I'd make about $100 on that long. My stop loss at 481. I only lose about $19. That's acceptable for my trading account here. But yeah, I think, you know, on Zcash I was targeting the 1 hour time frame, 200 moving average. The 200 moving average on Zcash. I gotta make sure I click Zcash, please. Yes, thank you. Zcash on the 1 hour time frame. I was targeting, you know, the 200 moving average, this red line at 592. You know, over time that red line is going to come down a little bit, so it might actually come down like 590 or 580, and that's where I might have to take profit. But I'm still, you know, sticking to that thesis that this thing could climb back up to the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame before it gets rejected. Then yeah, that's what I'm targeting for now on Zcash. And then of course my stop loss at 481 is below the lows from earlier today when we got down to like 482. Lorraine says that Bitcoin made a bear flag on the 5-minute time frame. Mayank says Zcash is going to $300 now. Yeah, maybe. Well, I got my stop loss at 481, so I'm not going to get hurt that bad if it does go down to 300. Okay. Oh, Laureen. Give me a break. I'm doing YouTube and TikTok. I try to read the comments as best as I can here. And you guys like to comment when I'm talking. When I'm done talking, you should make a comment. No, I'm only kidding. I actually watch some other YouTubers and they barely look at the chat. And it like they'll get back to the chat like 40 minutes later, and by that point that person might be gone. They might not even be, you know, watching the live stream anymore. Oh, I'm not that bad though. Zcash at 497. Let's see what it looks like on the 5-minute time frame. Are we cashing some bids again? Yeah, thank God. And then let's see. You talk about Bitcoin. Let's look at Bitcoin one more time here on the charts. 5-minute time frame. Yeah, you know, Bitcoin gave a little bit of a scare there. Of course, after I decided to double down, it decided to give a little bit of a scare there, but all right. As we start climbing again. Let me guess, Lorraine, you sold, right? That's why Bitcoin is going up. Lorraine says it's going to make a great big M pattern. The M pattern is usually a double top pattern. And that's bearish if you see that. You didn't sell? Oh, so then why are we going up then? I'm just kidding. You know, I'm okay if Bitcoin makes a double top pattern, right? If we come up back to like 88K, that, I mean, I would like to sell the Bitcoin long at 88K. We topped out around like 1240. Damn. Wait. Really? Wow, really? So Bitcoin actually got up to like 88,100 while I was talking to you guys on the live stream here. And I had the take profit at 88,200. Damn. I didn't, because my take profit was 88,200. Damn. Did me dirty. All you had to do was go up like another $100 and I would have my long would have got, you know, I would have made profit. Laureen's giving me some grief here about reading the comments. Oh, really? So you said Bitcoin was at like 88K earlier in the comments and I missed it? Probably because I was doing analysis on one of your requests here. Oh, okay, I see it. Bitcoin at 88. Yep, yep. So sometimes I kind of mess myself up here, guys. Like if I was, you know, on the charts and I wasn't like doing requests, I probably would have sold, you know, at 88K. So I missed out on that trade. I'm not blaming you guys, you know, because like the same thing could have happened. I could have been, you know, driving to the grocery store and I could have missed out on Bitcoin at 88K. You know what I mean? I could have been like on my way to the gym and missed Bitcoin at 88K. So, you know, it's like whatever. Things happen, right? But I like the fact that we're kind of getting a little bit of a bounce here on Bitcoin. Hopefully we can climb back up to 88K one more time here. Ugh. Ugh. And as far as like stop losses, I like to leave the stop loss about like $400 or $500 below the current price action. We're only about like $300 above it, so I don't know. But if we get up to like 88K, I'll probably move the stop loss to like 87.5, hoping that I get, you know, taken out, get that profit taken at 88,200 here. But 88,200 is just an idea. I don't have to stick to that. I could sell at 81 or 88,100 or 88,000. It's just an idea. You know, the idea behind it was I was just targeting the 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. Now that 200 moving average on the 1 hour time frame is sitting at 88,270. So, you know, it's just an idea. Doesn't mean it's gonna actually happen. I could sell at 88K. I don't have to wait for 88.2. Arian's like, just take the money. Well, I didn't really have that much leverage or margin in it, so had I take the money, I probably only made like $30 on that trade, but $30 is better than no dollars, right? But damn, I'm really sorry. Lorraine, had you just like spammed like 88, just typed in 88, 88, 88K, maybe I would have seen it, you know, through my peripheral vision here. Like, oh, someone's saying 88K. Oh shit, Bitcoin's at 88K. So, I'm sorry, Lorraine. But maybe next time you can just spam it, right? Just type in 88, 88, 88 just to get my attention. Alright, and then I'll be able to catch that in the corner of my eye. And I'll be able to, yeah, take profit at 88K. Oh man, Bitcoin, why are you being like this, huh? Why are we dropping down again? Yeah. Not today, right? No, we're not catching the biz. Oh, there we go. Someone decided to buy. Lorraine now thinks that we're making a wedge now. A wedge on Bitcoin? It looks more like a bull flag, a bullish pennant. Let me zoom into. Oh, I already had the charts zoomed in. Okay, let me get rid of this here. So let me see if I can draw this out here for you. Come on. Hey. I just think being that like that. Okay. Alright, so we got that going on. And let me try to draw another trend line here. I like TradingView better when it comes to drawing lines here. But we're on MEXC exchange right now. So it's just looking like a pennant or a symmetrical triangle here. I guess if I connected this line and that line, kind of like a wedge. It's just an idea. So either it's a symmetrical triangle or it could be a falling wedge. Falling wedge is still bullish. Symmetrical triangle could play out either way, bullish or bearish. So some people's charts might look like this, where you're not sure, is it a symmetrical triangle or is it a falling wedge? All depends on what the candles do. We just have to watch the charts and wait. So very crucial. Looks like there's a possibility that my longs might not play out today. The buyers are not stepping in and buying at these prices right now. I bought Bitcoin earlier this morning when it hit 86K. Maybe I should have went in a leverage long at that price too, but I didn't. Let's see, just checking on the chat. It's very quiet here on YouTube, but TikTok, Lorraine's keeping me busy here with the comments. And Lorraine, I'm a little bit curious, what do you mean by bottom of the solid green candle? Are you still talking about the 5-minute time frame here? Because that's the chart that I'm on right now. You talking about this candle right here? This 5-minute candle here? We came in and we totally erased all that bullish price action here. Now we're dropping down some more. And look at this, huh? You know, Bitcoin. If you were thinking this was a symmetrical triangle, we're losing that symmetrical triangle right now. And we're coming down. We're actually kind of filling out this falling wedge right now. Oh, look at this nasty red candle getting created right now. Alright. So it looks like Bitcoin's going to try to take out my stop loss now. Yikes. And you can see here on the MACD, we lost that buying pressure that we had about an hour ago. You see selling pressure starting to increase on the 5-minute time frame on the MACD. Yeah. Oh, but look, are we getting support right now off the We're getting some support off the 100 moving average on the 5-minute time frame. That blue line right there. This might be the thing that saves me. Can that 100 moving average save me from getting stopped out on Bitcoin here? I don't win them all. Damn. And then, you know, what kind of like frustrates me a little bit is that we actually came really close to hitting my take profit, but I was busy analyzing charts here, and I missed out on selling Bitcoin at 88,000. Whatever. I guess we're just now watching to see if I'm going to get stopped out now. Hey, Laureen, stop it. I'm doing so many things here. I'm like day trading while also doing a live stream, looking at YouTube and TikTok comments at the same time. That's why I have better success day trading when I'm not, you know, live streaming at the same time. And I just got stopped out. There you go. Just saw me lose my Bitcoin trade right there. Ugh. So now what is this, Lorraine? This is not a falling wedge or a symmetrical triangle. We're just coming down, right? We're just coming right down. Almost to like the same price that I bought Bitcoin at 87,260. Ooh, even lower than that. All right. Am I still in the Zcash long? Let me see if that thing is still alive. I'm still in the Zcash because we got to go down really low. And the Zcash leverage long is only 5x leverage. So I'm able to stay in the Zcash long a lot more than I was in that Bitcoin long. We would need Zcash to go all the way down to like 480. 481 is where that stop loss is at. But if we do come down, I might actually try to buy some more Zcash at like 484. 485 maybe. Yeah, if we do come down that low. Let's see what it looks like on the 15-minute time frame. MACD. Yeah, it's just weak. It's weak. Still weak on Zcash. But this is when you want to buy the fear and then sell the euphoria. Buy low, sell high. Buy the fear, sell the greed. But what I like about Zcash on the 1 hour time frame, I like the fact that the MACD is showing some selling pressures dying off and buying pressure starting to come in on the 1 hour time frame here for Zcash. Let me just go into TradingView chart so you can see that as well. Here on the 1 hour time frame, you can see Zcash is seeing selling pressure dying down, buying pressure coming in. So I just gotta give this thing some time here. We'll see how it handles itself later on today and tonight. Oh no! Now Zcash is Zcash starting to get dropped down along with Bitcoin. Yeah. So maybe there might be some longs to be had in the next hour or two as the prices, if the prices start dropping down. You know, here on Zcash, if we get down to like below 490, might be a good time to scoop up some cheaper Zcash. And we'll just have to see this low that was formed here on Zcash around 12 o'clock Eastern time here. If that low is actually going to hold, maybe we make a higher low And we don't go lower than that low here at 484. Lorraine says there's a bear flag on Bitcoin on the 6 hour. I'll try to see if I can find that on the 4 hour. So Lorraine, it's not really a bear flag. Okay. Let me see. Maybe on the 1 hour time frame you might see that. So this is still a bull flag because the flagpole starts from the bottom, goes to the top, and then you're flagging out. Okay, let me give you the moving averages here. This is a bull flag, not a bear flag. But you're kind of like doing a broadening wedge formation here. Boing, bang, bang. This, but I would call that a broadening wedge pattern here. If you're not familiar with broadening wedge, you can look it up on the Investopedia website. But this is looking like a broadening wedge to me, where you start off narrow here, but the lines kind of diverge away from each other. And if you come down and make a lower low, that would suck. But then you come up and make a lower high. But it's broadening wedges. The broadening wedge, in my opinion, it's frustrating because you're making lower lows and making lower highs at the same time. And it just shows that there's a lot of volatility still in the market here, where you're not really getting good patterns to trade out of. Oh, Bitcoin at 87K now. I'm trying to get a little bounce off of 87K. Yeah, as low as like 86,850 there. Bullish Babe was saying there's a bear flag. Okay, you're talking about on the higher time frames. Okay, so on the daily time frame, you're saying that this could possibly be another bear flag. All right, yeah. On the daily time frame, it looks like it could be a bear flag. Yeah. You said 4 hour though. And I was like, I don't really see it in the 4 hour. And then I tried going to the 1 hour. I was like, that looks like a broadening wedge to me. But yeah, this could be a bear flag. Okay, but then the problem with like saying it's a bear flag is if you keep making higher highs, it no longer becomes a bear flag anymore. It's just you're doing a relief rally. You're making an uptrend again. But yeah, I mean, that could be a bear flag. That could be a bear flag, yeah. Like we've already seen, you know, in the weeks prior, we've seen bear flags, right? Another bear flag. And if it's a bear flag, then that means we're going back down again on Bitcoin. Yikes. Tariq, do I anticipate a relief rally? Yeah, well, I thought 80K, 82, 84K was a strong support area. Just like I thought 96K was going to be a strong support area. We lost 96K. And then, like, you know, between 82 to 84 was a support area. Like if I zoom out, I'll show you what I mean by support here is the VRVP indicator shows me the high volume node levels here, where you would expect to see some support for Bitcoin. So you got a value area low at around like 85K, but you got a high volume. You see the high volume node here at 83, 84K? That's the support area. And then 87, 88K was also a support area. And we sliced right through these support areas like nothing. Because even like, look here at 96K, very high volume support area. And we only stayed at like 96K for like a couple of days before we lost that one too. So there's been a lot of selling pressure on Bitcoin. Probably more violent than what I thought. I thought this drop down in the price of Bitcoin was a lot more violent than what we saw in 2021. Like after we lost 100K, people just totally gave up on Bitcoin really quick. But we're getting the bounces off the support areas, because the support areas at like 82, 84, 88K. This is where people were buying Bitcoin at back in April. So the people here are, you would think, are giving us some support. Where you know, they're not going to click the sell button unless we lose 80K. Then they'll start worrying about, you know, their profits and losing money once we go below 80K. But yeah, if we go below 80K, there is another high volume node here at 76K. I can see that on the VRVP indicator here. 75, 76K. And that's basically the lows for the year on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's never been lower than 74K. At least for 2025. Yeah, Bitcoin was lower than 74K in 2024. And then that's when you get even more support. Like if we zoom all the way out, you got a very high volume node here at 67K. And another one at 62K. So when you hear people say, oh yeah, Bitcoin's going to 60K or 67K, this is what they're talking about. Like you got a lot of support at like 62K and 67K. But we're kind of hoping that support holds here right now, right? I mean, do you guys want to see Bitcoin go that low? If you're in cash, you probably do. But if you got some crypto, you don't want to see Bitcoin go down that low. But yeah, I see the bear flag on the daily time frame. That's why you need to tell me like what time frame, because you know, on the daily time frame, it's obvious. Yeah, it's a potential bear flag. You know, I've noticed that this could have been a potential bear flag. Matter of fact, as you climb up, you're gonna automatically create a bear flag until eventually you start getting above the last previous highs, and then you get above, you know, where the beginning of the flagpole is at, and then you know you can't call it a bear flag anymore. That's just a relief rally. You're now creating an uptrend. Okay, so in this short-term uptrend that we're in, this is a bear flag that we're in. Well, when you look at the grand scheme of things. However, you know, near term, it's still an uptrend. All right, but then going into smaller time frames like the 1 hour time frame, you know, this is what it looks like. It's like, all right, well, I can't see the bear flag, right? It looks like an uptrend to me. You would have to zoom all the way out and like, oh, okay, yeah, I see the bear flag now. Yeah. But, you know, as long as they're creating higher lows here, I think we can still be alright here on Bitcoin. It's just, how much low do we have to go? Are we going to, like, do another tweezer bottom here? Like, this is a tweezer bottom where we came down to, like, 86,067 and 86,155. Does Bitcoin go to 86,200, scare people again, and then do a reversal to go to higher prices? Excuse me. Maybe. I think Bitcoin wants to test the limits of our resolve here and try to make a higher low at 86,200. Scare us, give us a good scare, and then go up to higher prices. Yeah, it is annoying, Lorraine. It is annoying. But this would be a better area to go long. Because then you can put your stop loss right below the lows at 9 a.m. Eastern time here. Right, you can buy Bitcoin at 86,002 or 86,300. Put your stop loss at 86,000. Knowing that it's a really tight stop loss, and if you're wrong, you're not going to lose that much. Oh, see, I start saying that, and now Bitcoin starts climbing up again. Depends on what the bottom is, Tariq. Was 80K not the bottom? Because if 80K is the bottom, then, you know, now's the time to buy those altcoins right now. But if that wasn't the bottom, then yeah. Then you could probably get some cheaper altcoins again. Lorraine's saying, yeah, you buy at 86,200 and then it drops down to 80K. It takes you out. We still have, let me just draw this out. We still have higher lows here. Let's not forget that. We still have this going on. All right, there's still an uptrend here. Okay. Not until, all right, you gotta lose 86K, right? But like even then, like we could possibly come down. Let's see if we draw a horizontal line here. We could come down to like 86,400 and still be in an uptrend. All right, we could come like right down here, 86,400, bounce off. So maybe that's where you put your buys in. Buy at 86,400 or 500. Put your stop loss at 86K. Really tight stop loss. Right? Buy right here, 86,400. Stop loss at 86K roughly. And then you can play it like where we could possibly make higher highs here. Risk reward ratio 7.48. Nice. Stop loss only 0.43. Less than 1% on your stop loss. This would be for like a day trader. And then maybe Bitcoin's actually in a rising channel here. Put your take profit like right over here. As you make a higher high somewhere around that area at that 90K. Risk reward ratio 10.1. You're risking 0.4% to try and get 4%. Slap on like geez, I mean, you can slap on 100x leverage, and it's only a 43% stop loss and a 440% gain. Let's see, maybe I'll try to put another trade in here on Bitcoin, see if I can get Bitcoin at 86,400 or 500. Maybe I'll say 86,450. I'll just break, split the two prices there. So let's try that. Here we go. I'm gonna do a limit order on. Oh wait, I gotta get into a Bitcoin here. Bitcoin limit order. 25x leverage. 86K. Let's try to do $100 here. 86,000. I'll try to make this a swing leverage long, which means I'm going to try to stay in this for more than one day. And I'll take profit 90K. I only get 127 bucks on it, or whatever. Stop loss is going to be 86K. I only lose $16 on the long. Let me just double check the work here. 86,450. Take profit at 90K. All right, so there we go. Take profit at 90K, stop loss at 86K. I'm gonna try to get in at 86,450. Boom, let's do it. Order in. And watch, I put that order in, and then Bitcoin never goes down to that price. I might have saved Bitcoin by just putting in the long on Bitcoin at 86,450. The market's like, nope, we're not gonna help Damien out. We're not gonna go down to that price. Screw you, Damien. Am I spot holding alts? I do have some Solana and some Sui. So yeah, I do have some alts that I'm still holding on to. Am I gonna get filled at 86,450? We're getting close. 86,540. This would probably be a better long entry than what I had earlier today. But damn, we came so close. I didn't my take profit. I should have managed to trade better. I should have checked in. I should have read the comments like Lorene said. But I think Lorene could have said 88,000, you know, a bunch of times, just spam it, and that would have caught my attention. Would now be a good time to buy alts? I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, but buying on a red candle is always a good time to buy, in my opinion. Just my opinion, not financial advice. I'm looking at Bitcoin that's trading on Coinbase right now. This is where I'm getting the data for the price of Bitcoin. Oh, looks like I probably got filled on my Bitcoin long there. Yep. So I'm back in Bitcoin again, guys. Yay! 86,450 is my entry, and stop loss is at 86K. And if we go down to 86K, I'll lose $16. I'm okay with losing $16. I would not like to be wrong again, but I could be wrong, and I'll only lose 16 bucks. And if I'm right and we go back to 90K, I'll make $127 on that long there. But I bet you my Zcash long is gonna beat the shit right now. Let's see, Zcash. Oh, Zcash is at 44. I actually might want to go long on Zcash too. Let me go double down on Zcash here. I'm gonna put the stop loss really tight on that one too, at like 480 or something like that. So I'm actually gonna buy some Zcash right now. Let's see. Put like $100 a margin. Take profit. Still 590 roughly. Stop loss is gonna be 480. Only lose $4 on this long here. 590, 480. Boom, I just bought some Zcash now at 484. And, you know, we'll see if we're going to hit that stop loss at 480. Jesus. It's always when it's like the scariest time is when that always ends up being the best time to buy. Let's see if some other traders try to come in and save the day here at, you know, 483, 480. Look at this candle just bouncing up and down, up and down, up and down. Buy, sell, buy, sell. The selling pressure is dying down on the 1 hour time frame. You would think that we get some buying pressure showing up here on Zcash. Let's look at the 5-minute time frame here for Zcash. So yeah, look at that. Look how close my stop loss is here. I have a stop loss at 480 and another one at 481. Jeez. Are we gonna save the day here? Did I get in at the lowest price I could possibly get into on Zcash today? We shall see. Are you guys gonna buy the dip? Because I tried to buy the dip just now. I think the risk-reward ratio is pretty good right now for day trades. All right, Lorraine, if you want to send that pic, you can do that on Discord channel. Appreciate that. And that's where we're gonna go next, guys. After I'm done with this live stream, you can join me on the Meet Damien Discord. Let's see if I can get that pulled up here. But the Meet Damien Discord is where you can stay in touch with me and share your trading ideas, your trading strategies, whatever assets you want to get into next. I also show you guys when I'm going live. I'll put up the link on YouTube here. And this is where we have the discussions about what assets to get into. Okay. Yesterday I had a pretty good day today. I mean, I had a good day yesterday where I had a 100% win rate. Doesn't happen every day, but that's what I got yesterday. But today, I'm not getting 100%. You saw me lose that trade right there on Bitcoin, so I didn't get a 100% win rate today. But yeah, this is where you can stay in touch with me on Discord here. And the link for that, let me see if I can go back. I gotta change this here. But the link should be in, oh no, what the hell? Oh no, I went blank. Why? I lost my my internet feed here. Oh my god. Anyways, let's see if I can pull this up here. TikTok. Come on, TikTok. TikTok, hooray. Oh, let me see if I can fix this here. So that's the Meet Damien Discord. Can we get to why did we lose that? I'm not sure how I'm able to get that screen back here. I feel like this is amateur hour. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see if I click that. There we go. All right, I just have to refresh the scenes here. But there's the link for Discord. It's on the top of my TikTok bio here. You can see it right there. That's the link to join the Discord. And then for the YouTube guys, the link should be in the links in my YouTube page here. You can find the Discord link right there under the description to my channel. And it should be in the description of the video as well that you're watching, if you're watching this on YouTube. Wow, Bitcoin at 86,200. Just giving people a good scare today. We're literally at the uptrend line, using the 1 hour time frame. We're kind of like right there. Are we gonna lose this uptrend right now? Thank you, Lorraine, for putting the link to the Discord into the TikTok chat here. But it looks like Steve's got to go. Thank you, Steve, for coming in. That one science guy says PPI report sends markets lower. The Dow Jones is up 500. We're talking about cryptocurrencies are down right now. They didn't like what they saw. But the NASDAQ is actually down right now. Last time I checked, the NASDAQ was down. So not everything in the stock market is liking the PPI report right now. Oh, actually, the NASDAQ is in the green. All right. So stock market is doing all right, but crypto just does not like what the PPI report had to say today. Harvey Yellis says market is still too volatile. And Tariq says, Damien, you see the altcoins are bleeding some more? It looks like it. Let's see. Did my Zcash long get stopped out? No, thank God. I think I might have bought near the lows for today. I came in. I got in at 484. We took it down to like 482. We took it down to 481. Oh, I almost got stopped out. Ooh. Because I had one of my stops at 41 and another stop at 480. Yikes. That was close. But we shall see, we shall see. Bitcoin, you need to stop doing this. What are you doing, Bitcoin? Like, the stock market's up, like Science Guy just said. Why does Bitcoin have to suffer and crypto have to suffer while everybody else gets to celebrate? It's like we're like the redheaded stepchild here. There's a couple of cryptos that are actually doing well today, though. There's like Farcoin's doing all right, up 3.6%. Kraken is doing all right, up 7%. Let me see if I can turn on the crypto bubbles to see what coins are actually doing all right today. Crypto bubbles. I'm doing a longer live stream than I normally do here. For today, we have IP Story is up 15%, Cos is up 12%, SPX is up 8.9%, Telcoin down 10%. But most of the crypto market's in the red, even though there's a few green coins. There's a few coins in the green right now for today. Huh. Let's see for the week. Everything is in the red for the most part, except for Rain. Rain's up 122%. What the hell is up with that? I'm surprised no one asked me about Rain. You guys usually like talking about whatever coin is up 100%. Back to the daily. Alright. Look at Kraken. Kraken's cashing the bids. Probably after getting beaten down to crap over the last few weeks here. Yeah. Kraken cashing some bids. But this thing has been a losing trade for the most part, a losing investment all throughout this year. And now it's starting to cash some bids. Interesting. Oh my God, Bitcoin about to go to below 86K, right? I think that's the reason why I'm still on this stream, is because we're trying to see is Bitcoin gonna actually stay above 86K. Wow. Like, just an hour ago, we were talking about like Bitcoin at 87,500, and then boom, lost $1,000 in the last hour. Let's see, on the hourly candle here. Yeah, you lost like $900 here on Bitcoin in 1 hour. Down 1% in 1 hour. I took out a lot of leverage longs, including the leverage long that I had on Bitcoin earlier. See the oscillators, is anything looking healthy here on the oscillators here? Yeah, so we had selling pressure. This is what I got lulled into it, right? Selling pressure was dying down on the 1 hour time frame, and then boom, out of nowhere, oh, F you, we're going down here on the price. So that can happen, right? You think like the selling pressure is going to die down, and then it starts increasing again on the 1 hour time frame. So that didn't happen yesterday. We saw selling pressure dying down, and then it went into buying pressure. So a little bit I got faked out today on the MACD. Let's see what the 15-minute time frame showing. Obviously, buying pressure has died down, and now we're getting selling pressure. However, are we maintaining this uptrend? Kind of looks like it. See what the 5-minute time frame looking like. Obviously, on the 5-minute time frame, we had that selling pressure come in, but now it looks like it's sort of dying down. If we can get some more buyers to show up here, that selling pressure will continue dying down on the 5-minute time frame. And this could be still a higher low compared to what we saw here earlier this morning when Bitcoin was at 86K. $86,067 here on Coinbase. Market Cipher B showing a green buy dot right near the oversold bars. So that could have been the worst of the sell-off this afternoon. We shall see. And then of course here on the RSI indicator, you did get oversold recently here on the 5-minute time frame. RSI got below 30, is considered oversold. We got down to 27 there, which is not as bad as it was early this morning when we were down at 25 on the RSI. So you're kind of creating higher lows here on the RSI. Even higher than the low back here earlier this morning. So if you're just using the RSI, you could identify that this could be a good area to buy some relatively cheap Bitcoin just using the RSI here on the 5-minute time frame. And looks like we just finished a candle here on the 5-minute time frame. Selling pressure is showing that it's dying down still, but we need to see some more buyers show up so the selling pressure could continue dying down, because if this starts increasing again, then we're shit out of luck and we're going below 86K. So interesting times here on Bitcoin. It's probably why I can't get off the live stream, because Bitcoin just did all this in the last 20 minutes here. Tariq wants to look at ENA. I don't know if I want to do a request, because last time I did a request, I missed out on selling Bitcoin at 88K today. Gotta get better at managing the trades, especially when I'm live streaming at the same time. DNA is up. I read it as you said ENA. Are you just trying to let me know that DNA is up, or ENA? Yeah, ENA is up. Alright, we'll take a look at ENA real quick. Well, yeah, ENA was up, and now you're getting a little sell-off here because of Bitcoin going down. ENA currently trading at 27 cents. Let's see what it looks like on the daily time frame here. Yeah, ENA. What are you doing, ENA? ENA like near the lows for the year, though. You would think it has no room to go besides up. ENA saw some better days here. September, early this year, and August. But he's seen even better prices back in January and December of last year. But yeah, I mean, just like all the other crappy altcoins out there that basically did a round trip back to where they were at beginning of the summer and beginning of this year. Jay wants to look at Poet. Ooh. Okay, I guess we take a look at Poet. I believe this is a stock, right? Yeah, Poet Technologies. Poet Technologies coming down to lower prices here. I remember you talking about this stock in September, October, earlier this year. Those were the highs, it looks like, for the year. And I think I identified that this thing could have possibly make a higher low here, but we actually did a candle wick below that trend line. I think I was trying to identify like a possible hidden bullish divergence on this one, right? Yeah, I think that's what I was looking at last time we looked at this stock. So you have hidden bullish divergence where you have a higher low on price, but you have a lower low on the RSI. And that's a hidden bullish divergence. It's showing that sellers actually sold this thing down a lot more violently back here in the middle of November than what they did here in the middle of June earlier this year. But they weren't able to make a lower price, so this is actually hidden bullish divergence, and you're kind of seeing it play out where we're going up to higher prices now on Poet. How much higher could we go? I'm going to pull up the VRVP indicator, see what that shows. You got the highest volume node here at $5.27. Should be an area where you should consider selling your Poet, because a good majority of people bought in earlier this year at $5.27. So they might click the sell button to break even at that price. But then you got some more high volume nodes here, like 590, some more at like 650, 760, and then the value area high is sitting right here at 816. Definitely should consider clicking the sell button if you haven't done so already. Not financial advice, but that's what I would do if I was in Poet. But yeah, higher low compared to what you did here in June, that could come save you. And you put your stop loss right below the lows on November 21st when this thing was as low as 387. Oh, why was Poet? Poet was having like some of its like worst day of the year, or one of its worst days of the year, same time as Bitcoin. Is this thing related to Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin was taking a nosedive too around that time. No, it just does optics. What do they sell here? Photo integration of electronic and photonic devices into a single multi-chip module. Yeah, so it's a technology company. But, I don't know. I think the technology companies were having a hard time last Friday, and I think that's why you've seen this thing do a candle wick low all the way down to like 387. Thank you, Slow White, for following me here on TikTok. I think I'm about to end the live stream soon here, guys. Did Bitcoin just save its ass just now after threatening to go down to 86K? Let's take a look at the charts on the 5-minute time frame here. Get rid of that VRVP indicator here. But it looks like we came to test that uptrend that we've been in since last Friday, right? We came in, higher low here, higher low, another higher low compared to earlier this morning. This could end up becoming, like, some people might think of this as a double bottom now. And if this is a double bottom on Bitcoin, where we're, this is the bottom here early this morning and then the low bottom, the way that plays out is you just measure from the bottom to the top in between the two bottoms, and you take that measure move and you put it on top of the top in between the two bottoms. And the measure move to the upside is we could see Bitcoin get up to 89K, almost 90K here. That blue number right there. if this is a double bottom on the 5-minute time frame for Bitcoin. Interesting. And I did get into that Bitcoin long. Hopefully I'm still in it. I'm in a Zcash long as well. And my Bitcoin long, I'm trying to see if I can get Bitcoin, sell some Bitcoin at 90K. My average entry, I got in at 86,450. So I'm a little bit above on that long right here. But I don't want to do any more longing on crypto anymore. Because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong on that Bitcoin long, my stop loss, I'll lose $16. I'm okay with that. And then on my Zcash longs, if I'm wrong and Zcash goes down further below 480 bucks, I'll lose $12 on that stop loss. But then there's another stop loss here, and I could lose $11. So 12 and 11 is like $23. That's within the parameters of me. I don't like to lose more than $20 on a trade. So $23 is close enough, but I had to break it up because I saw Zcash go down to those lows, and I was like, I got to take advantage of this because there's really not that much of a risk of me buying Zcash, right? You see, I bought Zcash at like 484 during that drop in Bitcoin. Am I looking at Zcash right now? I am, yeah. So this is what I did earlier. You saw it like about 20 minutes ago. I bought Zcash at 484 right there, and I just put the stop loss at like 480. And I was like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I don't lose too much. So that's the way I like to day trade, is when I like to buy the fear and hopefully sell the euphoria. Well, hopefully I caught the lows for the day. I like to snipe the trades as best as I can. So I'm happy with that long that I got in on Zcash. I'll be even happy if we just continue going up to higher prices from where I bought it at. But yeah, I had another long on Zcash at 498. So when I saw it drop down to 484, I was like, oh, let me go double down on that. But for the Zcash long, I am targeting on the 1 hour time frame, the 200 moving average to the upside. And that's sitting at about like 591. So that's why I got my take profit at 590. And I could take profit before that. I could take profit when we get up to that 50 and 100 moving average on the 1 hour time frame. And that's sitting at like 539. So I could take some profit when we get up to those prices, take partial profit, and then keep the rest of it in there in case it does go up to 590. Jay is asking me what I think about XRP. XRP, I think, will be fine. I think it's going to trade just like Bitcoin and Ethereum and Solana. So either one of those is good to be in. But we shall see. We shall see. I think, if you're going to be in XRP, you could also be in Bitcoin because they pretty much trade the same. Same thing with Ethereum as well and Solana. Like if I go in the charts, like they go down and up at the same percentage rate. So Bitcoin's down 1.89%, Ethereum's down 1.6%, and Solana's down 2%. They pretty much trade the same. And XRP is down 2.94%. So XRP is actually doing worse than Bitcoin and Solana, but that could be just for today though. Yeah, XRP caught the bids just like every other cryptocurrency. They all pretty much trade the same. Some of them are doing different things, Seems like the meme coins are catching bids today because I saw like what? Kraken was up 7.4%, Farcoin up 5.9%. So some of those meme coins are getting love for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, once you buy one crypto, you pretty much bought them all, right? They're pretty much all trade the same. Some of them try to do different things. But until they start differentiating themselves, they're pretty much going to trade the same. So I think you're better off, you know, just buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to make an all-time high before Ethereum, XRP, and Solana does. I'll tell you that. If Bitcoin does make it a new all-time high, if we do see all-time highs again, Bitcoin's going to be the first one to do it. Then Ethereum and Solana and XRP are going to try to follow suit. And then you'll see some of the other cryptocurrencies try to do it as well. But Bitcoin's going to do it first, though. Everybody follows the lead. Bitcoin's like the conductor in the symphony. And, you know, whatever Bitcoin does is what the altcoins are going to do. So you might as well just be in Bitcoin. Especially in the bear market, right? Because in a bear market, Bitcoin is going to hit the lows and so are the altcoins. But then when Bitcoin, you know, when crypto starts going up, Bitcoin's going to be the first one to start going up. And then the altcoin's going to follow. It's like follow the leader, and the leader's Bitcoin. So you might as well just be in Bitcoin if you're going to be in XRP, in my opinion. But if you see like Bitcoin climb up and XRP's not doing anything, then you could try to play that by knowing that XRP will catch up to Bitcoin at some point. And then that might be a worthwhile trade to get into. If you see XRP's kind of lagging behind, then, you know, maybe you buy XRP knowing that it's going to try to catch up to Bitcoin. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today's live stream. I did almost like a 3-hour live stream. I got other things I need to do today. I think we saw the lows for today, or the lows for this afternoon. And, you know, we'll see if Bitcoin can climb back up to 88K all over again, and maybe even 90K at some point. But I think we just got a nice little scare there, right? We stayed above the trend line that we've been in since Friday, and I think, you know, now's a good time to buy, and then you just sell when we get to the top of the trend line, top of the rising channel here. I think 90K is a good area to try to sell Bitcoin if you're able to do so. But you could also sell some at 88K, which is like in the middle of this rising channel that we're in right now. Yeah, buy low, sell high, buy low. Simple as that. Such an easy concept to understand, but somehow ends up being hard to execute for a lot of traders and investors out there. But anyways, we'll plan on doing this live stream all over again tomorrow, 12 to 2 p.m. Eastern time. I can't believe I almost did a 3-hour live stream, but here I am. Only because Bitcoin was doing some crazy stuff over the last 30 minutes. But yeah. Appreciate you guys hitting the like button. We have 12,400 likes here on TikTok. That's good to see. And for my YouTube guys, let's just see if we hit that like button to match the amount of people that are watching the live stream. But yeah, Ava Medina. I mean, you're watching it on YouTube. You got in here late, but you can always watch the replay. We went over a few coins. We looked at Near Protocol, Ethereum, Zcash, and some other ones. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff in that 3-hour live stream, but. You guys got to see me lose one of my Bitcoin long because I wasn't paying attention, and Bitcoin was at 88K next to my take profit, and I didn't take profit because I was busy looking at the requests. But hey, that happens, right? But I was able to buy back in again at a lower price for Bitcoin, so we'll try that one again. But thank you guys for coming on to live stream. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Take care.